All right, welcome to our December schedule for Confident Lady Boss. We are back. We took a break in November, and December is really about goal setting, vision mapping. Really, tonight it's about remembering your why. Like, what is your why, and how do you really identify your why? And I've done this before, and I thought it was appropriate to really tackle this at the end of the year as we're wrapping up the last month. We're almost done with 2019. And so I wanted to really have a good discussion tonight about, how do you find your why, or what do you think is important to you? Because I have like four questions to ask yourself. How do you identify your why if you haven't already?
Okay.
So really, because I wanted you to end the year with really knowing, why are you in your business? What is it that you want to do in 2020? Next week, we're going to talk about more about goal setting. And how do you set goals? How do you create a goal statement? And then the last session, we do have a speaker, Pamela Luerenz, I think is how you pronounce her name. And she's a productivity coach in South Carolina. Yes, South Carolina. And I met her online, and she helps entrepreneurs with productivity, managing their time. And so she focuses a lot on that. And she calls herself the brick wall coach.
I love it.
Because as an entrepreneur, we hit brick walls. And how do you get through those brick walls? So she's going to talk about how do you create a plan like a pro for 2020. So I'm looking forward to having her speak the last session for this month.
Nice.
Okay. So that's the plan. So when you think of your why, it's the first step towards your goals, towards figuring out, like, what do you want to do? And let me ask each of you, and also when you know your why, it really helps you to push through your obstacles, whenever you're having a difficult day. When you go back to your why, you say, okay, this is why I am going through this, and not giving up. So let me ask each of you, what is your why? What keeps you going?
Well, when I first started with oils, I wrote my why out. It's pretty much still kind of the same. The first was to become healthier and happier for myself, and for my family, to keep my family healthy and happy. And then, of course, to pay off debt, to build wealth, to help my family, my kids with their student debt, to quit my corporate job, freedom.
Yep. Okay. Good.
So that's on my little green card that I wrote out 4 years ago.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So how are you feeling about that right now as we're wrapping up 2019?
Well, I still feel the same. Of course, I don't know if I'm any further along than I was. But.
Well, you might have. So let me ask you, what have you done this year that you think has moved you closer?
Probably more networking events, more, networking, growth, self-growth, always learning, training, skill set, mindset.
Good. Okay. Because it's a process.
And kind of just let go.
Let go. So what have you let go? I love it. What have you let go, Janet?
Everything. The outcome, the expectations, the everybody that you meet has to want oils, and and let go of just being desperate and not desperate, but
no. Well, I know it's okay. You let go.
Yeah.
Coming from a scarcity, desperate mindset to the people that, you're going to find the right people that need, or not only need it, but that understand it. Here's the thing. Your business is a lot about educating on why they need essential oils. Right. And not everybody even believes that they should use essential oils as a lifestyle.
Right. Right.
And I mean, I know I have found that when I was, in the antioxidant, the juice, I was selling juice, and people just did not even believe
Right.
that it was a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
So part of your job, or part of your business, is educating.
Right. It is. Yeah.
It really is. It really is educating. It's not selling the products. It's educating them on why they need that
Right.
solution.
Sure.
Okay.
Very
All right.
true.
Good. How about you, Madeline?
Well, I just want to say to that, I just asked, my friend Julie. So
Yes.
I asked my friend Julie, who makes like healthy 6 figures with oils. I said, hey, Jules, what is the main thing that helps you sell your oils? And she said, education.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I got goosebumps hearing this again. That's awesome. So it's the education. Yeah. It's like, if I want something, I want to know who's used it, how does it work, why does it work? Awesome.
Yeah.
So you are education, baby.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think, Janet, focusing on education with
Yeah,
Young
I'm
Living
working on
is really what your angle
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
people to come in. That it's not the product. It's, again, we talked about this. It's what is a solution you're going to provide them. Like, okay, I need now frankincense, lavender, and peppermint that we talked about when we had our coffee chat.
Right.
What do those three products do? Which, and that's where the people need to understand, like, okay, what will it do for me to help me?
Right.
Okay. And how can, as my daughter's going through her challenge, and I talk to these doctors, and all they do is, give meds. And I'm like asking them all these questions. And it's funny because I said to one of the nurses or the doctors the other, because I'm just like in their face. So
Good.
I said to them, so let me ask you a question. What do you think about CBD oil and turmeric? So they said, well, it could interfere with chemo. And I said, so let me ask you. So I said to him, so let me get this straight. You're putting poison in my daughter's body, but you don't think a natural remedy would help the problem. Got it. So you'd rather put poison than healthy.
Right. Exactly.
Makes no sense for me.
Right.
I said, but don't you worry, because my daughter will get natural remedies.
Good.
So my daughter's like saying, Mom, can you just stop it? And I'm like, no, I'll be in their face.
Yeah.
Good. And I haven't gone to the oncologist yet, so he's next. Watch out, Tina. She's coming. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so Madeline, what about your why? Like, what is it? How did you even find your why? Like, how did you identify your why?
Wow, it took a while, and I think the way that I found it was not identifying with something, because when I sang, I identified with that. When I stopped, I was nobody in my mind. Mm-hmm. So the truth about what I do is I really, first of all, for me, I'm not going to say, I want to change the world. I want to pay my bills. I want to go on trips. I want to buy shoes. I want to remain interdependent. Then when I am in a position to donate more, teach more, move more, I just want my life on steroids.
Good.
The life I have, I just want it on steroids. I'm already doing so many things.
Right.
I wanted to write a book, so I'm in a book. Now I'm doing a robust ebook. Then I'm doing the solo book. Boom, chaka boom, boom, off the vision board. And my health is good. I've lost weight. I've kept it off. I'm out there doing lives. I'm going to teach other people how to do lives and how to be in front of the camera. I mean, there is so much. Honestly, my life on steroids. That's it.
Good. Okay.
So that's my why, to do what I'm doing on a higher, more substantial, significant level. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I love
I'm on steroids.
I know. Now, one of the things, now, Madeline and I both have December birthdays. What is your birthday? The 11th, right, Madeline?
Yeah, and yours?
29th.
Right.
So this month, I'm like not really feeling, I'm just not feeling it, okay? So self-care, I need to step up my self-care because I am like, I need to step it up. So I got to be on steroids.
Life on steroids, self-care on steroids.
Self-care on steroids. And Madeline last night had her first session, self-care beyond the mani-pedi.
It was
And
good.
she had a great speaker. And so make sure you put the replay, Madeline, because I think that was a good.
Well, let me tell you what. So we did it on this particular laptop, which is now not coming on.
Oh gosh, okay.
And I downloaded it directly to the laptop.
Okay.
The laptop was so hot, I think it fried itself, so I'm going to let it be.
Okay.
And then if I can get it, I'll find a way. But Janet, it was wonderful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Terry has all these different modalities that she uses. And by the way, how are your knees?
My knees are good. So Janet, I'm in the hospital last night. I was only able to access it by phone. My daughter's getting chemo. I'm in her room. I'm on her call, and then I get on, and she has me go through this exercise about tapping into my knee because my knees have been bothering me for a while. And by the time this Terry was done, my knee did not have pain. And today it's much better, by the way.
Wow.
And you let her know, she'll feel good.
So shame, guilt, and shock are main issues that came up with her energy. She did this energy.
Oh my gosh.
Body code called the body code.
She's got the body code and about 3 or 4 other things that she does, but she hits you on the body code. When she's doing this, it's muscle
testing.
Muscle testing. Usually people do the arm.
Yeah. Yep.
She does. She did this when we were at lunch and the waiter was going, "What's she doing?"
Wow. So she was really good, Janet. And so
that sounds fascinating.
It is. It was a fascinating topic. So here I am. My daughter's got all these tubes and I'm on the phone. And then I walked away because she was in the middle of and the nurses were coming in. So anyway, but my point is that was a self-care for me last night.
Oh, yeah, good.
So my why last night was really about, okay, how do I care for myself?
Yeah.
What is going to excite me right now? So when you think about your why, what is it that excites you? What is it what life do you want to create? That, so when you think of 2020, what is your vision? What is that you want to create in 2020? Like Madeline said, on steroids, and, reflect on what you've done this year and what could you have done differently? What worked well? What were some of your wins this year? Because we all had wins. And we all accomplished more than we think we did. Because
sometimes we don't measure it because we think we didn't. Oh, here comes Lachelle.
Hi, Lachelle.
Hey, Lachelle.
Good to see you, Lachelle. Hi.
Good to see you guys, too. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're just reviewing our whys and how your why needs to excite you, create a life that you really enjoy. And we're just talking about 2019, like, what are some things that you did in 2019? What were some wins? What are some things that you would have done differently? And as you think of 2020, what will you do differently? And what is your goal? What is your vision? Next week, we're going to talk about goal setting in more detail. But tonight, it's really about knowing your why. And we're going to talk about, what are some questions to ask yourself as you're moving forward in 2020. But when you know your why, it's what excites you, what wakes you up every day, and that you're going to push through the obstacles every day.
Right.
And as we all know, and I'm a living proof of it right now, challenges are in my face every day.
Amen. Yeah.
And so when you got to think of your why, you got to go back to your why. When you're in the middle of a storm. I'm in a storm right now, but today was a good day. Tomorrow, don't know. So So Lachelle, so tell me about your why. Like, how did you, what is your why? How did you identify your why?
For me, I think my why, I'm sorry for the background noise.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
We heard it.
I hear you.
you can't hear. Okay. I think for me, my why really sprung out of my pain.
Mm.
So the whole thing with me going through depression and that transformation from being a victim to a victor really was the thing that really moved me forward with my why.
Okay.
Because now I feel like it's about the message more so than me getting caught up in what I have going on day to day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I liked your visual that you had, by the way.
My what?
Your visual you had today. You had when you were down. You had that visual. Yeah, I like it. Good visual. It was a good visual.
Thank
It really
you.
sent a good message.
Nice.
Thank you.
It really was. It really was. So it's what you want to create next year. So each of you, what do you want to create in 2020? Who'd like to go?
I'll go.
Okay, Madeline, what do you want to create in 2020?
Well, first of all, I kind of look at things a little differently now. You know how we look at like a list of goals, and somebody said this and it really hit me because I'm so much a visual learner.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they said, what is the shape? What does 2020 look like? What shape does that look like? Wow. And my whole mind just went poof. So I am making, for the first time, I'm going to do an annual something. I don't know what.
Okay.
But I'm going to do something. It's going to be the first annual, and then the next year it'll hopefully be the second. But I decided I want to do that.
Okay.
Because then it tells people that you're going to be around. So
Good.
that's one thing. The other thing is I will have finished the ebook, and I'm going to put all of them on Amazon. And then I have another book I'm going to do.
Good. Good.
That's part of it. Personally, I want to continue on growth.
Me too.
That's constant. I'm learning more and more about marketing. So
Amen.
Right? Amen. And
I
I'm
know.
adding that to my skill sets. Ladies, I was listening to Gary V. Now, do y'all know who he
Yes,
is?
I know Gary V.
Gary V. I just got goosebumps. He said, if you're going to hire someone to do it, you're killing your business. You don't hire, we talked about this, until you know how to do it. And I was like, yeah.
Interesting. So you don't hire until you know it.
Until you know it.
Interesting.
So that really confirmed what I was talking about. It's like, okay, I'm going to learn this. As soon as I learn it, Michelle and Janet, Tina, it's out there as soon as I can, because it takes up a lot of time.
It does. It
So
does.
the other thing is I've realized that communication is really heavy in 2020, and they're out. And I think that we need to watch things like Amazon and some of these companies online are going to burst online with new things. We need to be ready. So that means that our content needs to be kick-ass. I said a word.
Yep.
Our content needs to be something, WIIFM, what's in it for me? That's what you have to think about. The people.
What's in it for me? Yep.
Everyone wants to know what's in it for me. My job is to think about what they want, not what I think they need.
Right.
So all of this is a plan for me to be more aware of what people may want, and how I'm going to do that is read more of the comments, read more of what people are replying, how they're replying, and join more groups and spend even more time on social media.
Good. So what will you do differently in 2020?
What I'm going to do differently is remove even more people from my purview that I believe aren't supportive. Maybe we just don't think the same. The other thing is I'm going to be even more visible. I'm going to do a lot more speaking.
Yep. Good.
And differently, the other thing would be just the same stuff. Everything except for what I'm telling you now, my life on steroids. That's it.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. How about you, Lachelle? So what is your plan for 2020? What are you going to do differently than you didn't do this year?
For me, I want to do 20 speaking events. So just various locations. I'm really, open. And I want to meet Oprah and Ellen this year. That's like my big, hairy, audacious goal.
I want to meet Oprah.
Yes, I would love to.
I want to go meet her.
Yeah. Well, if I go, hey, you can. I'm gonna definitely invite you.
Okay, let me know. Okay.
Also, my family and I are going on a trip to Hawaii for my 50th birthday.
Oh, when is your 50th birthday?
When is it?
It's next December. So December 13th, 2020.
I didn't know your birthday was in December. Oh my God, Madeline, me and you are December.
No,
yeah.
When's your birthday?
11/29.
Wow. We are in the same week here.
Janet, when is your birthday?
June.
Okay. Wow. I didn't know that, Lachelle. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then my last one is I want to have 8 new team members for my Mary Kay business. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Awesome.
Nice.
Good goals. Good goals.
Thank you.
So what are a couple of things you would do differently?
I had an interview yesterday with Ivan Misner. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh yeah, BNI. He's the founder.
Yeah,
of BNI.
he's the founder of BNI.
Yes.
And just learned so much about his wisdom about having deeper relationships.
Yes.
So that's really what I want to do. He's like, he built his company on, making sure that you go at least 10 levels with a connection, in terms of having a deep rooted relationship. And I am just amazed at what he's accomplished. It's crazy.
Okay.
He said that his organization, the revenue that it generates for this year was $14.6 billion.
Billion?
Wow.
Billion with the B. Yeah.
Wow.
With a B, baby.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's a franchise. He franchised the idea of having this referral network, and they have 9,300 meetings a week worldwide.
Oh, well, they're everywhere. No, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be a member of BNI in my community, and when I was when I was in Mary Kay, I was the chapter president in my community, and for 3 years. So I'm very familiar with BNI. It's a good organization, but it's all about relationships.
Yeah. He said they have 264,000 members.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? I am just like, what?
Blown away.
He said, it took him a while to build it and everything, but I'm like, still, just the magnitude, and how he has other people manage it now. And
wow.
I was asking him just, I was like, hey, I just want to be like you.
Wow. Okay. That's really great. That's really good.
He was like, yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful, Lachelle.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. No, he's a great example. And it's really, it's funny you say that, because that's one of the things for me, it's developing deeper relationships. It's being more engaged with people, and face-to-face human connection, not just online. It's really meeting with people one-on-ones in my community. Start local, okay, and move, beyond that. But really begin with within your community. Where can you be to meet people, to get to know people, and how can you be a resource to them? How can you collaborate? Every week, set an intention every week of how many people you want to schedule calls with.
That is, you know what? You were on it, girl. Have you read this book? Because that sounds like something that was in there.
No, I haven't, but I've been, between people and myself, I've been really creating more of an intention that every week I need to set a goal. How many people am I going to talk to? Like, I put together a list. Now I've gone off the list now because of my daughter's stuff, but I did create a list that how many coffee chats am I going to schedule in a week?
Awesome.
Yeah, because he said it's a direct correlation. He has this thing called a network scorecard.
Okay.
And so it's like sending a card. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But I said, well, so how often should you do this? How do you figure out, who to do this with? And he said, you need to be doing that every week.
Yeah.
At least something on this scorecard. So I think it's like sending cards, and let me see if I can find it real quick.
Tiffany Peterson calls that your net worth. Your network is your
net worth, right? Your network is your net worth. Tiffany Peterson. Yeah. I mean, Janet and I had a coffee chat a couple weeks ago.
Hey, Tina, look what I went out and got a bag of stuff.
Okay.
Awesome. That's my store, girl, Dollar Tree.
Good, because I was telling Janet, I said, you're young living, you're in the most lucrative time of the year, and you know this, Lachelle, with Mary Kay. And I was telling Mary Kay, this is the busiest time of the year.
Right. So
to make money.
Invited me to a vendor fair, December 13th. So
good.
Fill this up with soft soap, and I'm going to throw in some Christmas Spirit essential oil.
Nice.
Oh.
And
creativity.
Socks.
Oh, I love it.
Good.
And I'm going to wrap it in a lavender bath bomb.
Oh, how cute is that?
That's so nice. And also Julie took a wooden cedar fan.
Yeah.
And close the fan on the flat side, put your favorite essential oil, and when you do this, it's like an air diffuser.
Oh, that's
a good idea.
That's creative.
She's getting hot flashes.
Oh, how cute is that?
Janet, record that. Make a note of that. That's a
really.
Good idea.
I need to do that for my mom.
Oh,
wow. Good.
Yes.
So great stuff, Lachelle and Madeline. How about you, Janet? What do you want to create in 2020?
Wait. Lachelle had something she was going to show us.
Did you?
Oh, yeah, the scorecard thing.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Sorry. Go ahead, Lachelle.
Okay, so it's the scorecard. So it's saying you should send out a thank you card, send a gift, a referral, an article of interest.
Okay.
Arrange a group activity for your clients, nominate someone, include others in a newsletter, arrange a speaking engagement. So we should be doing all these things weekly with various people. That's how you deepen your relationship. So like if you send them a card when you meet them, and then it's like, come back around a couple weeks and collaborate on an event or,
Okay. Great
something
stuff.
to make that go deeper in that
next
leveraging.
touch takes 12 touches today.
Yeah,
absolutely.
12 touches. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No,
Fridays,
it is.
Tiffany does all her writing of cards. It's absolutely true.
And actually, I send out cards every year to my clients with a little gift. And so, that's something that it's just an extra touch. Maybe a gift card, like what I've done gift certificates.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You get so much off your next coaching session or whatever.
Yeah.
Offer something to your clients.
I've done.
Well, another thing too is giving them a free session for their birthday.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, for their birthday.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So it's a free session, but hey, that's an opportunity for you to sell them a package or, whatever.
That's a good idea.
Special.
Yeah.
Or even they get a referral. You see what I'm saying? They could do a review or recommendation in exchange for free service, to keep building up your website and all that. So that's a good one.
Okay, good.
Starbucks.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Who didn't drink coffee, so she gave it back to me.
Oh, did she?
I still have it. She goes,
What?
oh, I love this, but I don't drink coffee. I said, but you could get like a biscotti in there.
Right, they have different stuff there.
I know,
They've
exactly.
got, oh, I love that pumpkin bread, banana bread.
Yeah, they got a lot of
Warmed
variety at
up.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, definitely. So, all right, awesome. So, Lachelle, you're all set?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, now Janet. Great stuff. So, Janet, so what do you want to create in 2020, and what would you do differently? What'd you say?
Wealth.
Well,
I
Well,
know that's
I love
right.
it.
I need 6 business builders.
okay.
So I'm going to, I've let go of the
Need,
fear. I've
you
let go of
want-
expectation. What?
You don't need, you have 6
You have them, not need.
Right.
I
Good,
have
Madeline. Thanks for the reminder.
on their way to me.
Yes.
They're coming to you, Janet. They're coming to you.
I
Yes.
claim abundance and
Oh, girl.
I claim it. It's mine.
I
Oh,
know
I love
that's
to hear that. My heart pitter patters.
Oh, that's too funny. You're funny. I am creating wealth. I have wealth. I'm creating 6 business builders. I have 6 business builders already
Yeah,
awesome.
in my
No
space.
words.
Good.
absolutely.
Good. Okay. Anything else you want to create?
Well, I don't know if it's business, but a magnificent place to live near my children.
Oh,
Still
That's
part
a
of our life.
great
That's
why.
yeah. That's a good reason. That's a good why.
Good
Yeah,
why.
my daughter just moved to St. Augustine, Florida.
She
Wow.
did. Okay.
And,
Okay.
Nice.
Now, how
so
many kids do you have, Janet?
I have 1 daughter and 1 stepson.
Oh, okay.
okay.
All right. Now, where does your stepson live?
Here in Milford, Connecticut.
Okay. Okay. So more trips to Florida for you
Yeah.
because you have created wealth.
Yes.
Right. And those business partners might be down in Florida.
That's
There
right.
you go. I
That's
was
right.
Michelle, there you go. Thinking
There
out
you
of the box.
go.
So find some business
And then you
builders
can
in
always
Florida.
stay with Madeline when you're in
That's
Florida.
right. Door is open.
That's right. That's right. Because you
Doors
got
open.
Lachelle in Georgia.
You can stop here on your way if you get
There
tired
you
of
go.
driving.
I'll,
Okay.
You'll have lots of entertainment, kids jumping around, combing your hair.
I'm sure you have a lot of
Aw.
entertainment over there, Lachelle. I love seeing your posts with so many kids, birthdays, and all that. Oh my God.
Isn't it crazy? I know.
It is, but it's
Yeah.
a good
It's
crazy.
beautiful.
It's a beautiful crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
anything else, Janet?
I think that's pretty good.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. So when you think about your why, what excites all of you? What makes you come alive?
Achievement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Achievement. Okay.
hmm
How about you, Janet?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Yep. Okay. Good. And what do you think are some of your strengths that you can bring? What value do you provide to people?
Integrity.
hmm
Okay.
Clarity.
Clarity.
hmm
Amazing support.
Amazing support.
hmm
Yes.
Okay. Good. 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 Good.
Friendship.
Friendship.
hmm
Madeline, badass courage and confidence. You also.
Oh, yeah.
And I am your cheerleader. I
Yeah.
am your cheerleader. I am the cheerleader.
You
need a
are. So
cheerleader, here I am.
I mean, when you think of 2019, you created some badass courageous women,
I did.
hmm
and
I
you
really did.
and you created that brand. So here's the thing. Like I have a jar in my office, and every time I do something, or everything that's positive, and I write it on a piece of paper, and then I put it in this jar. And at the end of the year, on New Year's Eve, I open up all my papers.
I love it.
Oh,
And
awesome.
I look at everything I've done throughout the year, and there's things that you forget you've done, like
Yeah.
whatever I've done. So the jar's getting pretty full as I look at it right now, and I got more to put in there this month. And you read them, and it really makes you feel excited.
That's a great idea.
It's
That
a
is
happiness.
awesome.
It's called an
Love that.
somewhere, I don't know. that somebody said to do this. It's a happiness jar, I think. Anything you do
Okay.
throughout the year that's positive, or, you know, like, for example, I went on a trip to blah, blah, blah. I did a speaking engagement, blah, 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 or whatever it is.
Right.
And you put it in this jar, just write on a piece of paper. And,
it.
you know, when you open up all the pages on New Year's Eve, you do it on New Year's Eve. And then
Nice.
you start it again for the following year, but you read everything you've done.
That's really nice.
That is
And
awesome.
yeah, and I've been doing that for a couple of years, and I got to tell you, it really makes, it gives you that sense of accomplishment, because you
Yeah.
don't realize what you've done throughout the year.
We forget.
Yeah.
You forget. You forget. You really forget. So I have to make sure that I write some things, because sometimes you forget to write on a piece of paper something you've done.
Right.
I think another thing, you know, for me, sometimes I would have to read that once a month.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
'Cause I'm telling you, I go through some stuff. I'm
I
like,
know,
hey,
you're
I
right.
don't know if I can wait 12 months.
I know. You got a good point. I think that's a good idea to every month say, okay, what did
Yes.
I do this month? What excited me? What, you know, what value did I put? Like, what did I do? You know, how did I help my clients? You know,
Absolutely.
and I think it would give you a good sense of, wow, I did more than I thought I would do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought I did.
We always do. You know, we tend to pump everybody else, and they did. What about you?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And Lachelle, I can't even imagine.
Oh, I know.
You have to read it every other day, you know. It's
I
like,
know. Every day
It's
is a new day. Every day is
Yeah.
like, you don't know what's
I'm
going to
telling
happen.
you.
Right?
Well, you know, like, and even like, you know, knowing your why is so important, because I was listening to a podcast, and the guy was saying that when you know your why, it keeps you focused when you have those trials.
yes.
You know not to give up. I mean, and it's like, you know, it has been crazy in our household. My husband just got another job, and he's going to be working out of state.
Oh,
Crazy.
okay. Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
he's gone now,
boy.
and he'll be back like Thursday, and it's like,
Wow.
you know, you just got to trust God. He made that decision.
Uh-huh.
I didn't agree with it, but you know, it is what it is, right? And so you just never know what your trial will be, you know, but you just have to stay centered, you know. So there are some things that kind of knock the wind out of you, but you got to say, hey, is this going to be the thing that takes me out? No.
Right.
So
Right,
I'm going to have to find a way to get over it.
Right.
You know,
Did
it's,
you say that you have to remain tender? Is that what you said? You have to stay tender.
Centered.
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 Yeah.
But you also have to stay tender.
Yes, you do have
Yeah.
to stay
I
tender.
like that. You have to stay centered, but you also have to stay tender. Otherwise, you get bitter.
That's a good one, Madeline. Stay tender.
That's
Yes.
what I thought you said, and I thought, oh, I like that.
That's a good one. No, it's true. That's true. And you know what? You have to focus on what matters most. So when you think about your why, like, okay, focus on what matters most right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, your obstacles are going to always be there, but it's, you know, when you look at your why, focusing on it's going to push you through the obstacles when you know your why.
It sure will. Yeah.
It really will. It really will.
Mhm.
So, you know, knowing your why is really about, you know, what excites you, what are your strengths, know your value. Okay. You know, deciding how to measure your life, you know, like making a stand for something, you know, taking a stand and standing in conviction, being courageous. You know, like Madeline so emphasizes, it's being courageous, standing in your power.
Right.
You know, don't be swayed by other people. Don't be
Absolutely.
a follower. You know, standing in your own position, and it doesn't matter.
Stand in your integrity, you won't sway.
Yes.
Exactly. Standing in your integrity, you won't sway. Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
it's so important, because so knowing your why is the first step towards your goals and what you want to achieve and going through the obstacles. I mean, it's a simple thing, but it's not easy. A lot of people don't know what it is. They don't even know.
Right.
They go day to day. So that's why I wanted to start this month with knowing your why and really remembering
Right.
or going back to it. Like, that's why I call this remember your why. It's like, okay,
I like that.
it's not just knowing
Right.
it. It's really remember that you have a why to get you going,
Absolutely.
keep you going through the obstacles, focus on what matters most, because knowing your why is at the center.
Yeah.
And then you got your talents, you got your passions, you got your strengths, you got your skills and expertise to share to the world. But your why is at the center of everything. And when you begin there, it's amazing what you can do. So that's why I wanted to start this month with this. And as we're ending the year, ending it knowing what your why is. And then next week, we're going to talk about goal setting in more detail. And then the third session, I mentioned this earlier, we're going to have a speaker that's going to talk about how do you plan like a pro. She's a productivity coach, and she's in South Carolina, and she is a productivity coach. And she calls herself the brick wall coach. And basically, we all hit brick walls.
Right.
And as an entrepreneur, and she helps entrepreneurs go through the brick walls.
I love that.
I know. I love the way people just brand themselves. And because when you think about your why, like what is your brand? What do you stand for? We're all different. And that's why your talents are so important. And you're going to find the right people, but you need to be at the center. Okay. Like we said earlier, Lachelle. Any comments? Because we're almost done. It's 7:45. I can't believe we had this great discussion, and I love kicking off December on this topic.
I just think this was great. I loved it. Lachelle, that was so good about the conversation that you had with Mr. BNI.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
His book? Did he write the Networking Pro book, Networking Like a Pro? Or is that
his book? Okay.
That's his book.
Okay, awesome.
And I'm just saying, you know what? That's the power of networking. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What happened was, I was with my daughter. She had a doctor's appointment. So, we love Goodwill. So we go into Goodwill, and I'm always just in the books.
Okay.
So I go and I get this book. This was in August. So I got the book.
Awesome.
And I'm always like, I have a crazy thing with books. It's like, I get to the checkout and I'm like, I can't get them all. So I go through this process of, of elimination. He made the cut. I got the book. Well, then I go somewhere else and I got this book, The E-Myth Financial Advisor.
Okay.
So my coach, she goes, you guys, y'all need to be networking more on LinkedIn. You need to at least try to do 20 LinkedIn connections a week.
Yeah,
and so
I've heard that.
she challenged us to do it. So I was like, I really don't want to go and just randomly pick people, because how they give you the little list of people that you're connected to. So I opened up this book, the E-Myth book. And how they have the people that do the forwards or whatever in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I went through and was looking up the names of the people and seeing if they were on LinkedIn to ask them to connect. Well, Ivan Misner was in the book.
Oh, how cool.
So I connected with him. He said, okay. So then we connected, and then something happened where I saw that I was looking through his profile and I was like, Networking Like a Pro, I've heard of that book. So then I go back and I'm like, that's the book I got. So I was like, I could not believe it. So then I was all hyped up about that. So then once I found out that, then I went back to him and I was like, can you do a Facebook Live with me? And so he was like, sure. So we did it we planned it in November. That's when I asked him in November, but his calendar wasn't open until December.
Okay.
And so I was like, fine, so we set it up. So yesterday, no internet. So my laptop, something happened with our router here at the house.
Okay.
So I couldn't do it on my laptop. So I was like, okay, let me use my hotspot on my phone, because you could plug your phone up into your computer and that should be able to give you internet. That didn't work. For some reason, it was glitchy or something. It wouldn't stay secure. So I had to do the interview on my phone. And I was like, I am not missing this interview, right? So I get on there and I'm like, it's crazy. That's just my life. But anyway, we're going to go ahead with this interview. And he's like, okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be recorded. I said, well, I've got some technical difficulties, okay? Because you can't record on your phone. So
Technical gremlins.
Right. So he goes,
exactly.
Right. So he goes, so you're going to do a write-up then? And I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. Right. So then, so I'm going on taking notes, right? So I get to the end of the interview and he's like, so how are you going to post this? I said, well, I'm going to put it on Facebook and I'm going to put it on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And he said, well, you have my assistant's email. He said, well, why don't I just give you my He said, well, you got Dana's or do you want mine? And I said, I'll take yours.
Yes,
so
thank you.
Down. And he goes, well, just send it to me when you're done and I'll put it out in my contacts.
Nice.
So I'm like, what? And after this, I've already had the interview. I just have seen how massive his organization has grown.
It is.
And I'm like, what are how could I have even arranged that? You know what I'm saying? Just the ability of going for it. When you get somebody in your face for whatever reason, don't be afraid to ask.
Always.
I do that stuff even on like, if I catch somebody on a live and they're talking, I will ask them for an interview or anything. I'm like, hey, what do I got to lose?
What's the worst they could say? No,
you've got nothing to lose. Exactly.
And people get to, how people say, let's read the comments and see what they say. So they're on the spot. So it's like, they're not going to tell you no. So you might as well ask for it.
That's a good point.
It's not going to be a death sentence, right? It's either
right.
No.
Right.
No, but
so just imagine like we're doing these things. If somebody says something in the comments about being on their show or, great to meet you, you are not going to turn them down. You have an audience.
No.
Exactly. So awesome stuff. No, Ivan, I've heard of him before. I wrote down the name of the book. I've heard it. I made a note of it. There's so many books that I'm always reading here that I just don't finish.
In that regard.
I know. I have a bookcase here and that I took some books out. One of the books I just took out that I had read, John Maxwell, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth.
Oh, I have one of his workbooks too.
Yeah, so I just, you know what? I was going through my bookcase. I said, you know what? This book is something that I need to go back to. Mm-hmm. So I got it out.
You know what, guys? This is what we should do for the new year. Let's have a book swap.
I would love a book. Like, you know what? Here's the thing. A lot of people do that. They have a book club or book, and every month they have a book that they discuss. And I think that would be good.
Yeah.
Have a book discussion.
Like Michelle said, swap books, mail them out.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask
swap
you,
them too.
if the book is going to be like $10 to mail, what's you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking of costs too. I think it's a great idea.
I do.
But you know what? You can, gift it and, put a nice note in it. This will help us with our sending out stuff. But, just creative things we could do. But
I know.
I love the thing about book swap. It's hard for me to throw my books away because I buy them and it's like, I'm going to read this one day.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't throw them. I know. I have tons of books.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm swapping them, then I might feel a little bit,
I read all my books and sometimes I read them 2 and 3 times.
You actually get a chance to do that. God bless you. I cannot, I'm lucky if I read through them once.
Oh, I get determined. It's like, I picked this up for a reason. The War of Art. 3 times the book is like all squashed and
oh my God.
Now War of Art. Now which one is that? Is that the one with Stephen Pressfield or the other one?
Stephen Pressfield. Girlfriend, that is such a good book. And as far as procrastination, that is the backup book to have.
I'm gonna write that. I know you mentioned that. I never bought it, Madeline.
There you go. Look, pass that book on by.
There's so many books that people read. That is amazing.
Janet, you need to pick that up if you do that with your procrastination class.
What's that?
It's amazing. And it's a little book. I mean,
I like little books.
That's just like the one, Who Moved My Cheese? Have y'all read that one?
Yep, I have.
it.
That's a small one. I have it here on my shelf.
Yeah.
I haven't read that one yet.
Oh,
All about change. It's all about change and how people.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a
and
good book.
And it's so quick. I mean, you can read that thing in like, what, an hour or two?
Yeah,
Oh,
very
that's
small.
awesome.
Very small. So,
yeah.
So any other thoughts about this topic tonight? I'm so grateful that you showed up.
You're so good.
You know, we had a break in November and back to Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
And
That's
we'll have more
nights?
people. You and Madeline is on Monday night. So she started last night with
Michelle,
the great
you
speaker.
gotta come on. I'm not charging.
Okay. I didn't see.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. On it. Yeah. Yep.
I'll invite you on again. We'll figure out a date and a theme.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, this was great. And I hope to see you next week. We're going to talk about getting smart with your goals, talk more about goal setting. And I hope that all of you have a great week. It's only Tuesday.
Thank you, Tina.
Bye, everybody. I'll have the replay in the group tomorrow.
Bye,
guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.